time out, and Ty Wolfenden looking to recapture some sparkling form. Mikkel Mikkelsen there looking to do some good performances, but is struggling with that ankle injury. Martin Vasilik, Jason Doyle also needing some strong performances now before the end of the season. So there you are as we come into round number 8 here in the Vojens Speedway Stadium. We saw a fabulous tournament here in July, Chris, and it was terrifically won by Australia, and the two Aussies are here, of course, in the Grand Prix, and I'm expecting them to go well again, actually. They really did fall in love with Vojens.
Yeah, they both rode spectacularly well, particularly, I've got to say, Jack Holder, best I've seen him ride, in my opinion, at the highest level. And, of course, Team Great Britain as well. They topped the points qualification, went direct to the final, couldn't quite pull it off. A magnificent effort from the Aussies with a 7-2 final score, maximum score. But no, a great event, and a few riders here that can take heart from their performances in that meeting.
Absolutely right, and there are two out in this very first race of the night, and it's Max Frick and Robert Lambert out here, and they'll be keen to get off to a flying start, as they all will in their opening ride. It's a nervous time for riders. They've had a run out earlier today, of course, in qualifying, but there's nothing like when that green light comes on and it's really for real. So riders entering the arena for the first time. Weather's great. Not always the case in this part of the world in September. Very often is pouring with rain. We had a little bit of rain mid-afternoon, but since then we've had beautiful sunshine, and we are set fair for a gorgeous evening. And I do hope that we are royally entertained this evening, because there's no question the pressure's on, and World Championship points, as always, up for grabs. And it will be an entertaining night, I'm very sure. Rasmus Jensen out here, he's the wild card. A lot of people rate him very highly indeed, and there's no question as the Danish champion that he won in Holsted earlier this year. He has he's beginning to build a decent CV.
He is, yeah, and I rate Rasmus. He's a live wire. You never quite know what to expect from him, but he will give absolutely every race, every lap. He'll give 100%. And I think he'll be happy to be starting off the inside gate in the very first race.
Indeed he will. So then heat number 1, Rasmus Jensen will go from the inside in red. Max Frick is alongside him in gate number 2 in blue. Andris Lebedevs comes out of gate number 3 in white. And then off the outside is Robert Lambert going out of there in the yellow helmet colour. Big opening race. A lot of expectation in the air, there's no question about that. Track looks fairly slick, well watered, could be a touch greasy in this opening race.
Yes, yeah, I think track conditions are going to take probably a half a dozen races to really settle in and start to find some racing lines, but I'm sure it will. And they'll work with the track all night long. They've got great equipment. They know exactly what they're doing here in the Vojens Speedway Stadium.
Indeed they do. They had the covers on for a large part of the week. The weather was actually horrible earlier this week, and the bespoke track covers here have done their job, and that's all credit to them. So here we are then, settling down for the opening race of the night. Heat number 1, SGP round number 8 here in Vojens. Oh, big movement for Lebedevs. Got to be a red light, surely. And yes, it is. And Paweł Ślubski from Poland is the referee that we have this evening. And Andrzej Lebedevs, I think he's a lucky boy that he doesn't touch the tapes here, but clearly very eager to get on with the action.
Yeah, first race, and there's a jangling, and the bikes are revving, and Lebedevs here. Can't wait to get going. Rider in white there, just
movement.
Yes, Robert Lambert actually on the outside gate there in yellow that moves first, I think. Yes, he does. And with Lebedevs looking across to his right, he spots that movement, so untidy there for the first race.
Nerves jangling, big night, tension on. To say just 3 rounds to go, so you can understand it, but a nervy start for heat number 1. Warnings will be dished out here. I don't think anybody touched the tapes there, so we should have the original 4 riders coming back to tapes for the second time. As I say, Rasmus Jensen on the inside there, he missed it. We'll see this again, and Robert Lambert does actually move first here. Yep,
first to move. Lebedevs being in gate 3 is looking across his eye line there. He's got Robert in his eye line. And
does he touch the tapes?
I'll tell you what, Robert's very close, but I don't think he does. And
no exclusion lights on, Chris.
Nobody has moved away from the track. Nobody's been told they're excluded.
Yeah. So as I thought, it will be 2 warnings here for the outside 2 riders, and all 4 riders back to tape, so no exclusions, which is good to see. But I reiterate, I think it's just an indication of how riders are feeling. It's a big crowd, there's a terrific atmosphere here, it's a lovely evening, And back here at Vojens, we came back in 2019, of course. We missed out in 2020, but there's no doubt that the fans love coming to this part of Denmark to watch World Championship Speedway. And of course, they've got a rider in second place in the World Championships who they are very keen to see go well here this evening, and he can. So here's the lineup then. On the inside is Rasmus Jensen in red, Max Frick alongside him in blue, Andre Lebedev's coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Robert Lambert going from the outside in yellow. And those two riders on the outside will carry that warning throughout the evening, so they've got to behave now. Here we go then, green light comes on now, and tapes up, and we're underway. And they go roaring into that first corner. Jensen initially from the inside with Robert Lambert pushing him hard, but Rasmus Jensen out in front. The wild card hugged it there nicely. Brilliant stuff from him. Here comes Max Frick pushing hard in third place, but Rasmus Jensen, he will be absolutely delighted as a wild card off the inside in the opening race to absolutely have nailed it, pulling away out in front, beginning to settle down, and he'll be feeling so much better now.
Yeah, the Danish champion's got that bike working a treat, got himself off gate 1. Robert Lambert survived a scare on the opening lap as he entered turn 3, just overturned the bike a little bit going into the corner on the slightly overwatered surface, and but he did manage to survive that, and he's got himself settled down in second place.
Out in front though, Jensen now down the back straight for the last time in the opening race. He's been wheel perfect, absolutely ideal start for the wild card. He'll be chuffed to bits with that. Home crowd delighted, comes through in flying colours there. That is an impressive start for him. Everything to gain tonight, of course, for Rasmus Jensen. Wants to make a point, wants to show the organisers what he's all about. And in the opening ride tonight, he duly does. So back in second place, Robert Lambert, solid there. Frick and Lebedev's coming in behind him, but for Rasmus Jensen, he'll be absolutely delighted with that. He wins the race, 3 points for him. Robert Lambert back in second place, 2 points. Max Frick in third, and Andre Lebedev's, who was a touch nervous first time out, fails to score in heat number 1.
Yeah, great start from the inside for Rasmus Jensen, the wild card. You can see here, front wheel in the air, bike's pulling a treat, he'd be happy with that. Robert Lambert makes a decent start off the outside. Now as they enter turn 3, just turns the bike just a little bit hard there. The bike's in reverse, and I'll tell you what, it does very, very well. Good balance to keep that thing upright and going forward, and just leans on Max Frick and says, no, Max, you're not coming through at this stage, and settle down into the race. But was a moment there for Robert Lambert on the opening lap.
Yeah, he did well, not only to save it, but also to hang on to second place, because Frick was there ready to pounce. So good effort from Robert Lambert, and you're right, it is a little bit greasy out there, and the temperature will go down rapidly here, so they don't want to put too much water on the track because it will be greasy.
Yeah, the water was late as well, which was the fact that there were forecast rain showers at 3 and 5, which actually both did come along. So yeah, the water's gone down a little bit later than they would have ordinarily liked.
So here we are then, heat number 2 for you, and riders are up at tapes and keen to get on with it, of course, as they always are in the opening race. Riders obviously have had a ride earlier today, but always good to get off to a good start in the Grand Prix itself. So line up for heat number 2 with Bartosz Marzik, the championship leader, going from the inside in red. Mikkel Mikkelsen, injured, comes out of gate number 2 in blue. Ty Wolfenden comes out of gate number 3 in white, and Jason Doyle will go from the outside in yellow. We've spoken about it, there's 2 riders here. Well, there are 4 in actual fact normally in a speedway race, but there are 2 riders in particular outside the top 6 in Mikkelsen and Doyle that need a big performance. And Doyle, who's been struggling at Grand Prix level and rides so well at the league level, needs to reproduce a big night. He's got 3 rounds to go, and he wants to get himself up in the top 6. He needs to get off to a fast start here. So here we go then, heat number 2. Nerves were jangling in the first race. Will they behave themselves now? They have done indeed. Tapes are up and we're away, and Smarslik on the inside gets there, but Doyle, good effort from Doyle around the outside. Fabulous move that was for Jason Doyle. Really got that bike working well, hooked up and drove down the back straight. Smarslik now settling in second place. Mikkelsen third, with Wolfenden out of gate 3 now ensconced at the back. But this is a superb start from Doyle, under pressure coming into the line. and has responded here in his first ride in fine style.
Yeah, brilliant opening laps from his opening race, Jason Doyle. Nice to see him out front. He has struggled, as you say, Kelvin, this year, and it was great to come from the outside gate this early on in the meeting, and he'll be happy with that. Spoke to him after the qualifying, which was a decent qualifying for him in 5th place, and he said the bike was a little uncomfortable pulling hard. I said, well, when you're going fast, it's not always comfortable, and showing us that he's got that speed as he leads Schmarzlik now coming the last lap.
Through the last corner then, Jason Doyle has had to ride very smart here because Schmarzlik has got stronger and stronger the longer the race went on. But it's the Australian that hangs on out in front. Smashing start for him. Coming from gate number 4, does the business round that first corner. Really on top of his game there, and that's encouraging to see. Schmarzlik solid in 2nd place. Disappointment for Woofenden there though. Here's the result. Doyle out in front, 3 points for him. Bartosz Schmarzlik back in 2nd place, 2 points. Mikkel Mikkelsen picking up 1 point for 3rd place, and Ty Woofenden, a disappointing start for him, fails to score. But for Jason Doyle, who had an ignition failure in qualifying, certainly had it all spot on here.
Yeah, he got it absolutely right, and both the first 2 races, the outside and inside gates have been the best. And you got to say, from the start, it looked like Schmarzlik had that one covered, but Jason Doyle had other ideas. Just got the bike hooked up just on the edge of the dirt left over from the first race. There is just a small dirt line built up just off the curb, and Jason Doyle made the absolute most of that. Had to work hard to stay ahead of Schmarzlik.
He did.
But then you generally do have to.
Yeah, not very many races that you don't have to work hard when Mr. Schmarzlik's in it, but for Jason Doyle, who is not adverse to working hard, he has a very strong work ethic, and he certainly came through well there, and he'll be very pleased with his start to his evening's work. So heat number 3, and we'll see Leon Madsen, world number 2 right now, and he is coming out of gate number 3, so he'll do a better job out of there than Ty Woofenden did. It was a disappointing start for the former world champion Woofenden, and he'll need to bounce back in his next ride. Jack Holder on the inside, then in red. Pavel Szapelski comes out of gate number 2 in blue. Leon Madsen comes out of gate number 3 in white, and Fredrik Lindgren will go from the outside in yellow. And Leon Madsen says he doesn't like this place, but well, I'll tell you what, he was fast in qualifying.
He was very fast in qualifying. He's coming off gate 3, which has failed to score a point so far in the opening 2 rides tonight. Never easy when you rock up to the start line knowing that you're on the worst gate, but there's only been a couple of races, and if anyone can make it from there, Leon Madsen can. He's made a lot of changes. He's changed engine tuner, gone to Brian Carger, and he seems very happy with that decision, I've got to say already.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable with it indeed, and they're working nicely together, and his form is improving, that's for sure. He's 16 points behind, took 6 points out of Schmarzlik after Schmarzlik failed to make the final in Wroclaw. So here we go then, heat number 3 for you. Green light is about to come on. It's on right now. Oh, long pause, and we're underway, and they go roaring towards the first corner, and Lindgren's made a fantastic start from the outside. Holder follows him through with Leon Madsen out wide, coming through into 3rd place with Szapelski back in 4th, but what a start it was. Gate 4 working a treat there for fast Freddie Lindgren. Jack Holder riding solidly in 2nd place with Madsen now, trying to find some grip, riding around the inside, but Freddie Lindgren never really renowned for his qualifying speed, but when it really means it, when that green light comes on, he's up to the task.
Yeah, he's got the most experience of Vojens Grand Prix in the lineup. He's coming under a lot of pressure from Jack Holder, but he's always consistent here at Vojens, Freddie Lindgren. But Jack Holder, once again, we saw it in the Speedway of Nations, making lines absolutely everywhere on this track.
He is indeed. Freddie Lindgren now just having to ride very smart out in front. Holders look very impressive. In 2nd place, Leon Madsen having one big blast round the outside in the first corner, but Freddie Lindgren smart out in front. Rode fairly conservatively there, Lindgren, but he proves to be the right choice with Jack Holder just trying all he knew. The outside line not really working at this early stage, but a solid 2nd place for the Australian Speedway of Nations winner in Jack Holder. But for Fredrik Lindgren, who's had his moments this season, but it hasn't been sparkling, but he certainly started very well there. Lindgren wins, 3 points for him. Jack Holder back in 2nd place, 2 points. Leon Madsen 3rd, 1. And Pavel Szapelski fails to score in his opening ride, but not too much overtaking yet, but I just sense the track is just going to evolve a bit, and more opportunities will come the way of the riders.
Yes, the track will take time to settle down, and Madsen there off gate 3, he knew it was a tough gate from there, and he actually made the bike jump hard, but a little bit too hard maybe, and once again it's the outside and the inside gates that drive to the corner first. Freddie Lindgren, great start from the outside, and Jack Holder threw every single thing trick that he got into this one. He was looking on the outside, the inside, looking for a cutback, and I believe for most of the race he actually had slightly more speed than Freddie Lindgren, but no way past for him as the track needs time to settle down.
Yeah, good ride from Freddie Lindgren there, and he started well, and he'll be very pleased with that. And Jack Holder, I agree, I think he was a touch quicker there, but at this early stage, move off that inside line and you tend to lose ground. So a solid 2 points for Jack Holder. And we're moving swiftly on through this first block of races. This will be heat number 4, and everybody would have had their first outing. And it will be the first time we see Martin Vasilek, Dan Bewley, Matvej Janowski and Patrick Dudek. A terrific looking lineup actually here for heat number 4 then. So on the inside in the red helmet colour is Martin Vasilek. Dan Bewley will go out of gate number 2 in blue. Matvej Janowski will come out of gate number 3 in white, and Patrick Dudek, who's lying 4th in the World Championship right now, will go from the outside in yellow. Dudek going along nicely in the championship, but you've got to mention Dan Bewley. Bewley is literally the hottest rider on the planet right now, Chris. Can he make it 3 on the row?
Wouldn't that be great? He's certainly capable of it, and I've got to say the Vojens track is a track that should suit him. He had a decent Speedway of Nations, very decent indeed, and this is as near to the tracks in the UK that he grew up on that you're going to get on the continent here.
Here we go then, heat number 4, settling down. Start marshal moves away, green light is on, and we're underway. Great start initially from Martin Vasilek, but gate 4 with Patrick Dudek working a treat again. Absolutely flew across the opposition there and fired himself to the front. Vasilek settling in second place there with Matvej Janowski coming around the outside of Dan Bewley, who is at the back. But look at Patrick Dudek go. Jet propelled away from the start line and showing great speed out in front. Good battle going on for second and third between Vasilek and Matvej Janowski. But Dudek showing a clean pair of heels to the opposition here.
Yeah, looking very quick out front, just riding around the dirt line, and Vasilek coming under plenty of pressure from Janowski, just stretching it a little bit, but Janowski's looking for some long straights, generating a little bit more straight line speed than Vasilek, but just cannot find a way through. And again, those middle gates just not performing well in this race.
One last corner to go then for Patrick Dudek, who's been in a class of his own here in heat number 4. Wins comfortably. Martin Vasilek under pressure from Matvej Janowski, hands on for second, and Dan Bewley there, the shock there, missing out and really didn't land a blow. But for Dudek, absolutely red hot in heat number 4 there. Comes through, wow, you've got to say, hugely impressive ride, quite possibly the most impressive ride out of the first 4. So the result of heat 4 then, Dudek out in front, 3 points for him. Martin Vasilek back in second place, 2 points. Matvej Janowski in third, 1 point for him, and Dan Bewley missing out in his opening ride. So then, we've got 4 races completed. You see the standings after there with the 3 points to Lindgren, Doyle, Dudek and Rasmus Jensen, and plenty of racing to come, of course. So we're looking forward to heat number 5. So there we are, first block of races, and track's not easy to overtake on at this early stage, Chris.
No, it's not, and gate positions seem crucial at the moment. You've got to be off gate 4 or gate 1, and Dudek making the absolute most of gate 4 there. A lot of the riders have come from gate 4, they've come right from the fence. There's a very damp part of the track out there that's affording them quite a bit more grip than the rest of the start line, so got to take advantage of that in these early heats. But Janowski, again, a bit like Jack Holder previously, just throwing everything at Martin Vasilek. Again, looks like he's got plenty of speed in the bike, a little bit more than the guy in front of him, but he just can't find that way past.
No, he worked hard there, but at this early stage, not too many racing lines, so he had to remain patient. And maybe a touch frustrated as well, but no such problems for Patrick Dudek out in front. He was a terrific ride from Patrick Dudek. Right, let's get some reaction early doors here with Scott Nichols. Let's move down to him. He's in the pits.
Yeah, Jack Holder. Jack, weren't necessarily the quickest in qualifying, but you go to show you had the speed there.
Yeah, I was only foxing, mate. No, you know, it's the qualifying's a tricky one. You know, you can either take it serious and not so much serious, but you know, you want to get obviously a good draw, but you know, many rounds, like the quickest person hasn't gone good the same day in the meeting. So yeah, you know, just time on the track and you know, just try and get a good setup, and yeah, I think we're going right at the moment.
Yeah, so the practice for you is more about getting a feel for the bike and the track and everything, as opposed to just going all out for that race time.
Yeah, for sure, mate. You know, there was a few close calls in practice, you know, them boys trying to set the fastest time, but you know, it's not all about that. It's about getting your stuff sorted, and yeah, as I said, everything seemed okay then.
Mate, it was a good race. You certainly showed you got the skills. You lined and Freddie up very well there. So will you make many changes before your next one?
Just little bits and as much as we can. But yeah, as I said, you know, I had good speed and hard to pass in the first couple of bracket around, but just get off that start.
I'll make you those little tweaks and good luck for the rest of the night.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, he had plenty of speed, Jack Holder, and looks pretty satisfied with his 2 points after his first ride. And we'll look forward to seeing him once again in heat number 6. Track grading going on, and we can take a look at the gate stats. And of course, the outside gate clearly working superbly well early doors. One race winner from the inside, and gates 2 and 3 yet to score effectively. But as you said, Chris, you noticed earlier on that there was a nice soft grippy patch right up against the fence, and that may well have come about because of the covers and maybe a bit of leakage there, and the water sitting there for a couple of days has just made it a bit grippier.
Yeah, a little bit of that, a little bit of shade from the main grandstand here down the start straight, so a few things have affected that. And yeah, I mean, it's not going to be there all night because it is quite narrow right up against the fence, but you've got to take advantage of it while it's there.
Indeed you have. As I say, it's not too far away now before heat number 5. So there we are then. A great looking scene here. I must say it's great to see so many people turn out. As I say, the weather has behaved, and that certainly encouraged people to, as we call, walk-ups. I know that there was a decent amount of pre-sales for tickets, but there's no doubt that they have surpassed what they were expecting, which is great news for Jakob Olsen and his team here at the Vojens Speedway Centre. So good news, and it's always, I must say, it's a strong following of Speedway in this part of the world, and it's always great to come back to Vojens. Robert Lambert just patiently waiting for his next ride. We've got Patrick Dudek, of course, coming out here again, winning off the outside gate initially. He'll have the inside gate this next time. So let's get down to Scotty Nichols now. He's got Freddie Lindgren with him.
Yeah, Freddie Lindgren joins me. Freddie, it's been by your standards a tough season, a bit up and down. You made lots of changes. Looks like they paid off in that heat there.
Well, I also had gate 4, which seems to be working at the moment, so that was nice.
Yeah, don't underestimate yourself. You still had to get the bite there. You're under pressure from Jack, but you rode a smart race.
Yeah, no, I didn't really want to open up myself too much. Maybe a bit wider line would have been faster, but I didn't want to give him the opportunity to dive on me, so took it easy way and got 3 points on the board.
Well, you certainly did well, mate, and good luck for the rest of the night, and keep it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to hear from Freddie, and I must say he's an experienced campaigner these days. Of course, he's one of the elder statesmen of the Grand Prix series, and he's been around some time. It took him a long time to win a Grand Prix, but once he won one, he got going. He's had 39 finals, and he's won 5 of those. And as I say, he has pushed hard to try and win a world title. It's looking unlikely this year, but as I say, he's done remarkably well to come back from long COVID, and all credit to him, because he's already had a break this season, and to just take care of his health a little bit. But he's riding well, and he started in impressive style here this evening. Riders out on track then once again for heat number 5, and we'll see Patrick Dudek once again here, who was immensely impressive in heat number 4, but this time he hasn't got the favoured gate number 4. He's got to go from the inside gate, and it'll be interesting to see if he can replicate something similar. But there's some big hitters here, of course. Rasmus Jensen, a race winner as well, and the top 2 in the world going head-to-head on the outside 2 gates. So here we are, Patrick Dudek on the inside in red, Rasmus Jensen, the wild card, out of gate number 2 in blue, Bartosz Smarslik, the championship leader, out of gate number 3 in white, and Leon Madsen, second in the chase, goes from gate number 4. And might just have fallen right for him.
Yeah, Dudek coming off the inside gate. As you say, he's not got the favoured outside gate, but gate 1 has been pretty good so far, scored some decent points, so not too bad for him, but he did stretch a decent lead.
Yeah, it was quick, wasn't he?
Yeah, decent lead in Heat 4, so he's got speed there.
He was indeed, but Leon Madsen, with 3 wins out of 4 from gate number 4, has got it here in a big Heat 5 up against his closest rival in the championship. And of course, psychology plays such a big part in this game. He'll want to beat Smarslik if he can, get his nose in front. And there's no doubt that riders have been able to really get a smashing run into the first turn. So here we go then, heat number 5, settling down, racing resuming. Green light is on and we're underway. Madsen's made a great start. That gate number 3 really is tough. Bartosz Smarslik just left there, hanging there with Rasmus Jensen battling with Smarslik out the back. Dudek's out in front, turns the bike very hard indeed. Track is a touch greasy. Water's gone back down. Madsen